Retro Now.
Hey, this is Lauren Mary Kim, and I'm the stunt double for Ahsoka Tano in Clone Wars and the armorer in The Mandalorian. You're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. This is the way.
Welcome to Podcast Stardust. This is the fully armed and operational podcast dedicated to Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. I'm Dennis Keithley.
And I'm Jay Krebs.
And we're going to wrap up another week of Star Wars goodness with a look at some recent news and a little bit of Revenge of the Sith trivia. But before we get into all that, Jay, please remind everybody where we can be found on social media.
Absolutely, Dennis. We are on Facebook and Instagram conveniently at Podcast Stardust.
Okay, the dish is aligned, the signal's boosted to maximum output, the shield is down, we are now broadcasting to the galaxy. So it is a very, very light news week. Most of the stuff that's out there, just things that we don't cover, like various Star Wars actors being in other movies and yada, yada, yada. But as has been the case for the past several months, John Boyega has been on the convention circuit, and he was at Liverpool Comic Con, and he was asked once again about his potential for returning to Star Wars. And I found his response this time, Jay, to be a lot more interesting than what he's typically said, where his bishop in the past was that he didn't really have a whole lot of interest in it. He was not as interested in doing these big budget franchise type movies and things. But this time around, he said, me and Oscar are very stubborn, and we believe the bromance should only be on the big screen. So I should back up. He was being specifically asked about whether he or Poe Dameron might be in a movie again. And then he also added that streaming just isn't on his mind. He wants a theater that's going to be in the theaters. And he also is very interested in having Eunice Soetamo, who plays Chewbacca, to come back as well. And then he further added, it has to be a movie and obviously a great script. I have already spoken to Eunice today and said to Eunice, you must join Poe and Finn on their adventure. So if I get those combinations, who knows? What do you make of all that, Jay?
I don't know. But I mean, honestly, it just doesn't light up anything for me creatively. I mean, Poe and Finn, they're solid characters, but we've already seen the peak of their dynamic. You know what I mean? So a whole new project centered on them just feels like revisiting terrain that we've already walked. And if the big selling point is this bromance angle, I mean, look, we get it. They're buddies, cool. But I personally don't need a 2-hour cinematic exploration of space bros doing space bro things. You know what I mean? I mean, especially if you're adding like, Eunice in there is, I don't know. It's just, I'm just way more interested in projects that we're getting that actually expand our Star Wars sandbox, if you will, instead of playing in the same one. But I don't know. That's just my take. What do you think?
Well, I think, okay, it was George Lucas' sandbox for the longest time, and he made the original trilogy and then didn't really have any intentions of making the prequels or any more Star Wars movies until the technology suddenly took rapid leaps forward. And then he made the special editions, then he made the prequels, and then he sold the company, and then we got the sequels. But I would have loved more adventures with Han, Luke, and Leia back after Return of the Jedi. And who knows? George's, we've covered it on news episodes of this show from years past where he talked about what his vision of a sequel trilogy was. And it had Darth Maul and Darth Talon as the big enemies and bad guys in it, stuff like that. But my point is that when we got Han, Luke, and Leia, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher were significantly older, still wanted to see them, but they weren't as capable of carrying an entire new trilogy by themselves, in part due to their age and things like that. And we lost so many years when they could have been the heroes of more adventures out there. I love the way you described your thoughts on this movie. I mean, perhaps a bit literal in the take on the bromance, but the point is that I would like to see more movies with these characters in them. I think for Finn, I'd like to see him actually explore the Force sensitivity that was teased in The Rise of Skywalker. And so I guess my point is that let's not waste all the time. If we're going to do something with these sequel trilogy characters, let's do it sooner rather than later, where we can get Boyega and Oscar Isaac and Daisy Ridley and all these characters in their prime.
I get
As
that.
opposed
Yeah.
to a whole lot later, where we find ourselves like wondering what's going to happen to them as they pass the torch to a new generation. I mean, the torch has been passed, and now I feel like these characters are capable of carrying movies by themselves without the classic saga characters. So I don't know. I like the idea of it. I mean, if you're going to bring Chewbacca in it, then I think we get to have the Falcon back. There seems like you could go any number of ways with it. It's these characters were generals in the Resistance at the time, but now have they settled into administrative roles and government role? Has Finn explored being a Jedi? Have they gone on to pursue other adventures? Is there some galactic crisis that calls upon them to re-enter the public spotlight? I could think of 1,000 different things that would be a great adventure for these characters. That, yes, I mean, it is a buddy movie in that regard, but it doesn't have to just be about their relationship. It could, it could be a Star Wars movie starring these characters, and I'd be there for it. But if we're gonna do it, just make it happen. Let's
Yeah.
not wait another 10, 15, 20 years to do this. Let's get it while these characters are hot. If anything, the interest in bringing Adam Driver back to do Ben Solo, the fandom is really latched on to that Hunt for Ben Solo idea that got scrapped by
Yes.
Disney. It seems to indicate to me that there are people out there. There's plenty of people out there that would like to see these characters again.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
let's do
No,
it.
you make some really good points. And I guess I was too literal on the bromance thing too. I was just meaning like, almost like a 21 Jumps. I could just see it being like
Sure.
21 Jump Street or
No, I don't want that either. I
something
mean,
like that.
no. I mean, it's those characters were described as having bromance. And you think back to the history that they had, how they met in The Force Awakens, and then when they got separated on Jakku, and then they were reunited on Dakar, and then the moments that they got to have together, because they didn't have like practically any screen time together in The Last Jedi. But then The Rise of Skywalker, when they were, General, need your help, thank you for that, all that stuff like that. It was great. It was classic. And you can carry on that stuff into a new setting, and I think it'd be fantastic. But if you're gonna do it, do it. Let's see it happen.
Mhm. No, I agree.
Okay. Well, there's your Star Wars news for the week. See y'all next week. No, just kidding.
Ta-da.
Since there is so little, we are going to go ahead and dive into some Revenge of the Sith trivia. Here's the thing. Jay and I are trying to get ahead for Thanksgiving. So we already recorded part 7 Revenge of the Sith trivia, which is coming out next Friday. So these are going to be out of order. We're about to go through part 8 of Revenge of the Sith trivia, which corresponds to episode 931 of the show. And the segment of the movie, it runs from 1 hour, 23 minutes and 31 seconds to 1 hour, 31 minutes and 38 seconds. So yeah, I don't know if you know exactly what happens in that time of the movie, but follow around. These questions are in sequential order. You ready, Jay?
Sure. And I love that it's like almost 1138 where the timestamp stops.
Oh, that's a good point.
131:38.
That's
always
very
fun.
good. I like
Okay,
that.
I'm always ready. How good I'll do, I don't know. I'm never gonna top the last one.
All
That
right.
was
Well,
like
yeah,
100% technically.
yeah, you did spectacular that time around. Well, there's 32 questions on the board.
Woo.
So let's get it started.
Awesome.
And just to set the stage, Order 66 has commenced in this, if that helps you figure out about where we are in the movie. But question number 1, what area of the Jedi Temple does Anakin find younglings hiding in?
That would be in the main chamber, like the master's chamber.
Yeah, the Jedi Council chamber.
The
That's
Jedi
correct.
Council chamber. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
How
So
many
glad.
younglings are hiding in the Jedi Council
Oh
chamber?
my goodness. Okay, I knew you number question. Let me see if I can picture. I'm just gonna throw out 6.
Close. It was 7.
Oh, so close. So close.
Yeah.
I went with 6 because Order 66, I thought maybe there'd be some
A little bit of
correlation
symbolism
there.
there. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 3. What is Padme looking at from her apartment in Coruscant during Order 66?
Oh, she's looking at the Jedi Temple on fire, smoking,
See, they're not all
doing all
super
kinds
hard.
of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
um, who reports to Padme that Anakin returned to the Jedi Temple?
Um, 3PO?
That is correct.
Yay. Okay. So far, so
Question.
good.
Yeah. Question number 5. What senator arrives at the Jedi Temple to investigate?
Oh, Bail Organa.
That is correct. See, you're doing great.
Dun, dun, dun.
Question number 6. What do the clones tell Bail Organa has happened?
Um, that there's oh shoot. I don't know the exact words. I am totally blanking on this.
There's been a what?
There's been a takeover? No. There's been a all I
It's
can
very much
hear
a
is
Star. It's a very much a Star Wars word.
there's been a attack?
No, there's been a rebellion.
A rebellion. Oh gosh, yes, that is a very, very Star Wars word. All I can hear in my head is the Chancellor going, "The Jedi are taking over."
This is true. So during this conversation, a young Jedi attacks the clones that Bail is talking to. What color is his lightsaber?
Is it blue?
It is blue.
Yes. Okay, good. I
All
was gonna
right.
think it's either blue or green because those are the standard ones I pretty much had at this point in time, at least in the Star Wars saga. I had a pretty much a 50-50 shot there because Mace doesn't count. He's unique.
All right. Start playing the scene back in your mind
Oh boy. Okay.
and start counting. How many
Oh
clones
boy.
does the Jedi defeat before he is cut down?
Oh goodness, my gracious. This is another one of those that I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say 5.
Defeats 8.
8. Wow, look at him go. And
Yeah.
that's isn't that George Lucas's son?
Yep.
Jet?
That's correct.
Too bad
Very
that
good.
wasn't a question. It's not technically in the movie though, so
All
but I
right.
did know
Question.
that, so that should count for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Question number 9. What two-legged vehicles are the clones using on Kashyyyk as they look for Yoda?
ATSTs.
ATRTs.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference. What's the difference between an ATST and an ATRT?
Well, the ATRT is that little open cockpit
Oh,
vehicle
it's got
that's
an
half the size.
open cockpit. Okay.
Yeah, it's about half the size of an ATST.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a semi-walker. It's like a demi-tasse.
Well, just think of that episode of the Clone Wars where Mace Windu is on Kashyyyk
Mhm.
and they pull those things out and they like sprint across the terrain to take out the battle droids. They move faster.
That
It's
makes
a
sense.
I think the R stands for recon um,
Okay.
in that statement. But okay.
Cool.
Question 10. How many clones were riding ATRTs?
Oh my goodness. I have no idea.
Yeah, these are a lot harder than last week. Sorry.
No, you're fine. 3?
4.
I'm always so close.
They
So
are.
close, but no cigar.
All right. Where do Tarful and Chewbacca deliver Yoda to on Kashyyyk?
Well, they take him to this little escape pod thing on the top of some sort of Kashyyykian mountain or
Yeah, it's a
something.
ship. They can take him to a ship.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna hate me for this question. How many thrusters does Yoda ship have?
Oh, goodness gracious.
And the only reason why I
Um,
thought of this question is because you're looking at the ship from the bottom as it blasts off, and Chewbacca and Tarful looking up there.
well, it would make sense that there would be kind of like 4 in each little corner, and then maybe I'm gonna say 6.
It has 3.
Darn. Not quite the thruster power I was thinking of. You couldn't ask me how many moons Kashyyyk had, could you? I
Nope.
knew that one.
How many moons does Kashyyyk have?
2, and they were both crescent moons. I just remember that vividly from that scene when they first
Oh.
get there.
Yep. Well, I'll have to put that in for the next edition. Revenge of the Trivia. Okay. Whose ship does Obi-Wan Kenobi use to escape from Utapau?
Oh, Grievous's.
That is correct.
And he's still laying there in all of his mechanized goo glory,
Mm-hmm.
which I always think is crazy.
Which emergency code does Obi-Wan use while flying away from Utapau?
Oh, it's a number. It's a number. It's a number.
Hmm
913. Is it 913?
I'm impressed. You got it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Wow. Okay. I'm
Okay.
surprised at myself, quite honestly.
I would not have got that question that I wrote down while I was watching.
Emergency code
Okay.
913.
Who answers Obi-Wan Kenobi's call for help as he leaves Utapau?
Senator Organa.
That's right.
Yes.
Who does Bail Organa say he has already rescued?
Yoda.
Also correct.
Yes. See, these
Okay.
I can get pretty easily. It's those other ones.
Yeah, they're not all
Cracking me up.
difficult, but I do have to throw some more difficult in these, so
Oh,
they're
of
just not all
course.
gimmies. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't get 100% again. That's
Well.
all right.
All right, question 17. What does Anakin say has happened after returning to Padme's apartment?
Let me think. Okay. Does he say that the Jedi are overthrowing the Republic? Is that what he says?
Close enough. The Jedi have tried to overthrow the
Tried
Republic.
to overthrow the Republic. Okay.
Question number 18. What three things does Anakin say his loyalties lie with?
Oh, I know this because our whole episode was based around this. The Chancellor, the Senate, and you, Padme.
That's correct.
Yes.
Loyalties lie with the Chancellor, the Senate, and you.
And with you.
All right. Question number 19. What is Anakin's response to Padme when she says she is afraid?
Oh,
And
I love this line.
what should she have? What should she have, and what is she going to do?
Have faith, my love. Wait for me. I'm going on a very important mission
Where is he going
to Mustafar,
to do? What?
to the Separatists to end this war.
Very good. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Have faith. He's going to Mustafar to end the war. All right.
I love that. Have faith, my love.
Very Shakespearean of him.
Exactly.
Forsooth, I travelleth to Mustafar. Ian Desher, I am not. Okay. Number 20. Where does Obi-Wan rendezvous with Bail and Yoda? Or
On Bale's ship. Is it the Tantive 4?
yes,
Technically?
but very interestingly, I learned today while making notes for an episode of the Clone Wars that it's not actually the Tantive 4. It's the Sundered Heart. The books and the literature that came out around Revenge of the Sith said that it was the Tantive 4, but if you look closely, it's actually different than the ship that's in A New Hope that Leia's on. And around the time of around the time of New Hope, it was just described as Leia's ship, and then later named the Tantive 4. But for the next episode of the Clone Wars we're going to cover, they put the Tantive 4 in there, and they made sure that it looked like the ship that actually showed up in A New Hope. And so there's a bit of a retcon where this ship is actually the Sundered Heart. So there you go.
Sundered Heart. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Now that's some trivia right there. That's very cool.
And now that you know that, you'll be able to talk about it yourself when we do that episode of the Clone Wars here in a couple days. Okay.
Love that.
Let's see. Okay, we are on question 21. How many other Jedi have Yoda and Bail Organa heard from?
No other. None.
That's right. This was kind of a trick question.
Okay.
But yeah.
No, that's all right. I questioned myself as well, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, that's what those questions are designed to do.
Yes.
Question 22. What signal does Yoda say they have received from the Jedi? What signal does Yoda say they have received from the Jedi Temple?
The retreat message, the coded retreat message.
That is exactly the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
Good job.
Good. Whew, thanks.
Question 23. What does Obi-Wan say they must do in response to this signal?
Reverse it, dismantle it, to tell them to stay away.
Return and
Thank you,
dismantle.
Caleb
There's too
Doom.
much at stake.
Yes. You got that idea from Caleb Doom, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
As
right.
we know now.
Yep. From the beginning of A New Day. I just reread that book. I think I talked about that a month or so ago. Was it? I can't remember. It was the last couple months I reread that book, and I remember that scene at the beginning, and how much Rebels really diverged from that book, but didn't. But again, that came out before we ever had an episode of Rebels. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. But it's still fun to talk about and pull those little pieces out of
yeah.
there.
Well, the fun thing about that book also was just that I kind of took the villain that was in that book, Count Vidian, for granted. But the second time around, he was a Vader light type of a character. He didn't have the Force or anything like that, but he was very, very cybernetic and stuff like that. And then his
Mhm.
coldness in his calculations, he was so business driven and everything, that really stood out. And it was a much better villain the second time around, where my expectations were in the right place. So
Well, that's cool. I've visited that book a couple of times. I need to do it again.
yeah. Question number 24, and I'm sorry, Jay, but how many lava fleas are seen in the opening scene on Mustafar when Anakin arrives?
Um, 2?
4.
4.
The
Okay.
only ones you've missed so far are the number questions,
The
I
number
think. Well,
questions.
actually, 5 of the 6 of our number questions. So,
Oh,
uh,
the math.
yeah. Who promises the Separatist Council they are going to be taken care of?
Palpatine, or, the Emperor at this
Darth
point.
Sidious, yes.
Yes. Vader will
Ex-
take care of you.
Mm-hmm. Who does Darth Sidious say will take care of them?
Oh, my new apprentice, Lord Vader. Does he say Lord Vader or Darth Vader?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Which is the first time he's
Question.
ever uttered that name publicly, which is pretty cool.
Well, it was mentioned on the holo recording that Obi-Wan saw.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True. But not
So
specifically to any. He didn't know he was telling anybody, though.
right. Yeah. Clumsy thing to let lying out there like that, but here we are.
Right?
So, question 27. We've only got 6 left. Who informs Bail Organa that his presence is requested by the Chancellor?
Oh, that's the guy that not oh shoot, he's got his vizier. I can't think of his name. He's
One
got
of his
the
initials?
talons and yes,
M.A.
Masumeda.
There you go.
Thank you. I could see him
I
in
knew
my
you knew
brain.
it was. You were just talking the other night about how he was, you appreciated or liked him in that scene of Revenge of the Sith
Right.
that we were doing. So,
Yes.
uh,
Yes. This has
mhm.
been my brain all day today, though. I don't know. Had like this weird brain fog. That's my excuse, anyways. I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Question 28. What does Mas Ameda call the Senate? And here's a hint. It is a word that hasn't been used in the Star Wars movies since the opening crawl of The Phantom Menace.
Oh, he calls the Senate like collectively?
It's another word for the Senate. What does he call them?
Oh, the rotunda?
No, the
The
blink of the Republic. Fill in the
the
blank.
seat? The seat of the Republic? The
Is that what was in the opening crawl of The Phantom Menace?
No, no. It's the
This is a tough one, I know, but
oh shoot, I don't know.
Congress.
The Congress. Oh my gosh, that one went right over my head. I don't even remember them saying that. The Congress
Yeah,
of the Republic.
it jumped out to me when I watched it that time. I was like, wow, okay. So I remember it jumped out to me when we did our Phantom Menace discussion that in the opening crawl they called it the Congress, and every time after that was the Senate. And then when they said Congress again, here's like nowhere else was that ever said that I'm aware
Interesting.
of.
Why
So
do you think they reverted to that particular reference?
who
Especially
knows?
in this instance, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
this particular like
I mean they're
parameter.
essentially interchangeable terms, but there's one Senate that we always see, but we have representatives like Jar Jar Binks.
Mhm.
Well, where does he serve other than in the Senate? So I don't know. I don't know why there's a difference there, or if there's a difference there, but
Hmm.
yeah. Okay. Question
Fascinating.
29. Why doesn't Obi-Wan think Masameda's invitation to Bail Organa is a trap?
Oh, we talked about this at length. Um, because it's basically they don't want them to think that anything's really has changed,
But
and
that's
they
not what
need them
Obi-Wan
all
says.
there. Oh, I don't think
He
it's
says something a
true.
little bit more specific, which is also the objection of someone in the Empire in A New Hope when they were meeting on the Death Star.
Because I don't know.
Obi-Wan
can't
says
think
the
of it.
Chancellor can't maintain control of thousands of star systems without keeping the Senate intact.
Oh, keeping the Senate intact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What will he do without the bureaucracy?
Yeah.
Okay, that was from A New Hope. Question 30. Here's another counting question
Oh
for you. How
boy.
many mouse droids scurry into the Separatist control room ahead of Anakin on Mustafar?
3?
5.
Shoot. Boy, was I off. There is that many.
All right. Who?
5 seems to be a big number. Didn't we have
Yep.
those a couple times? Okay.
Question 31. Who greets Darth Vader upon his arrival at Mustafar?
Oh, that's Newt Gunray, right?
Yep.
Yes, Viceroy Gunray.
Okay. And question 32. What does Darth Vader do in response?
He first he closes the doors with
Yep.
this.
With the
Is that
Force.
what you're
That's the
looking
answer I was
for?
looking for.
Okay.
Yep. All right. You got 23 out of 32
Whew.
on that one.
Not my best performance. That's for
No,
sure.
but this was much more difficult than last week with all the counting. It takes a very detail-oriented eye, and probably not what you were looking, or anybody was looking at when they were doing this movie. And I had the advantage of pausing the screen to count things up. So there
Let's
we
see,
go.
what is that? That's a 72%, which at most colleges would be a C. So hey, C's get degrees.
There
All
you
right.
go. Okay, well that's it. That's it for this week's news and this week's Revenge of the Sith trivia. I think you did pretty well, actually. I mean, those were not easy questions, and they're designed to be tough. So, well
Yeah,
done,
those
Jay.
number questions always get me, but I like the challenge, so I always look forward to these.
Mm-hmm. But with that, we'll go ahead and say thank you all for joining us for this episode of Podcast Stardust and our discussion of recent news and this round of Revenge of the Sith trivia. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd love it if you subscribe to the show if you haven't done so already. And we'd also appreciate your ratings and reviews once you've done that. If you want to find the entire back catalog of shows, head over to retrozap.com. You can find all previous 967 episodes there, as well as all the other great shows that are on the network. Jay, you want to go ahead and remind everybody of what those social media contacts are and where else we can be found online?
Yes, and I know I'll get these right. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust, and you can also check out our plethora of Pinterest boards and our 2 YouTube outlets, which includes the traditional YouTube as well as YouTube Music. And if you have any questions to send us, please do so at our email, which is podcaststardust@gmail.com. When we have enough questions, we love listener questions. So it can be about the podcast itself. It could be basically about anything Star Wars. We will put them together in a listener question episode. And if you are in need of some new Podcast Stardust swag, you can hit up the link in our show notes that will take you to our TeePublic store. And we have 7 different show logo designs available there for your choosing.
Okay. Upcoming on the show, and please forgive me if this is not correct because we've been jumbling a lot of episodes around as we were trying to get ready for Thanksgiving and get some stuff done in advance. But the current plan is on Monday, we're going to be discussing the next 2 episodes of Volume 3 of Star Wars Visions. And then on Wednesday, we are doing something similar to listener questions, but we just call this our Ask Me Anything Star Wars segment where Jay and I ask each other some a little more detail-oriented Star Wars questions or our thoughts on various things or would you rather type questions and things like that. And if you want to ask a question, you don't know what to ask, listen to that and you'll get some ideas. But with all that said, thanks for listening to episode 968 of Podcast Stardust, everyone. Have a great weekend. And until next time, may the Force be with you.